I do not accept a coffee or a walk as a possible date option, and neither should you. First of all, I'm not a dog that needs to be walked. Second, I have an espresso machine at home, works fabulous. We're not doing drinks either. You're gonna try to get me drunk and take me back home. No. We are doing dinner. You're gonna pick me up. We're gonna come to the restaurant. We're gonna see your table manners. We're gonna see what you order. We're gonna see, do you hold your chopsticks correctly? We're just gonna, study you a bit. Okay? So dinner it is. Hmm.
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we'll look at the story of a woman who refused to accept coffee dates and how her romantic adventure turned out. On the other hand, we'll explore the experience of another woman who found happiness on a simple first date with a decent man. Finally, we'll wrap up with diverse opinions from women about the famous coffee dates. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're aiming for 150,000 subscribers before the end of the year. A big thank you to those who support the project with super chats and by sharing their experiences in the comments. This is what helps our community grow. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos. Now, let's get started.
Okay, if you haven't seen this video, it's the greatest. She goes on a date with a good man, and she's completely blown away by it. But I want to show it to show there are good men out there who's got their life together. Watch!
Listen, he took me back to his house, not because he wanted to do anything, because he wanted to show me the renovations he's doing in his basement. You don't go to basements on a first date, Reagan. I know, but he had barn doors. He was making a whole nother apartment all by himself. He bought this house. And he has a car. And it's nice. And his car. Did you see his car? No. It's brand new. It's a 2021 SUV. It's beautiful. It has a screen in it. Yeah. I started to forget about, everything else, and I was just like, wow, I could start living like this. He was so respectful. It was beautiful. Do you think you're going to go on a second date? He wants to bring me to his hockey game tomorrow. He wants to pick me up and bring me to his hockey game. So I can come watch him. It's so cute. He says he wants to take me thrifting beforehand, so we can pick out outfits for each other and not let each other see, and it's what we have to wear on our next date. That's what he said. It's my first white guy. I mean, no offense, but I think I kind of been missing out. He has a house at 25 years old. I'm only 22 and I don't know what I'm doing. But I think I might want to move in.
See, ladies, they're out there. I know it's shocking, but they're out there. And she actually went on a second date with him. So, seems like things are going pretty good.
Oh my God! Wow!
Absolutely, there are still decent men out there with their lives in order, and for this woman, that seems to be quite a surprise. This man didn't try to impress her with extravagant spending or aim to take her to bed on the first date. He was simply genuine, open about his life and what he's building. This underscores a key point. First dates are about getting to know each other without pressure or unrealistic expectations. The date was calm, casual, and clearly effective. She didn't dress up as if she were going to a fancy restaurant because it wasn't necessary. It was something simple, probably a coffee, but meaningful enough that she now wants to keep seeing him. They even already have plans together. This is what many modern women miss out on when they insist that a man must go all out on a first date, taking them to the most expensive place in town. The purpose of an initial date isn't to dazzle, but to connect. And it's these simple women, the ones who understand this, who truly win in the dating market.
In 2021, she was all.
I do not accept a coffee or a walk as a possible date option, and neither should you. First of all, I'm not a dog that needs to be walked. Second, I have an espresso machine at home, works fabulous. We're not doing drinks either. You're gonna try to get me drunk and take me back home. No. We are doing dinner. You're gonna pick me up. We're gonna come to the restaurant. We're gonna see your table manners. We're gonna see what you order. We're gonna see, do you hold your chopsticks correctly? We're just gonna, study you a bit. Okay, so dinner it is.
Fast forward present day.
I started the egg freezing process. I did some preliminary tests, which showed that my egg count is really low. And I know a lot of women struggle with this. I had a ovarian surgery last January, and I knew that I have endometriosis and had like a giant cyst on my ovary. And the doctors told me that.
Let's just pause right there for a minute. See, she thought she had time to be making all these outlandish requests of men. Keep trying to tell y'all coochie is special, but it ain't rare. Men dictate, you follow. Or don't, and 3 years later, start making cry videos just like this woman here. Trying to set these prerequisites for table manners. Girl, please. So, men did exactly what they were supposed to do, left your ass high and dry. Ladies, understand this. You are not worth it. You're lucky we even taking you for coffee. We don't have to spend money on you. And you keep trying to set that as a standard, and you're going to end up like this crying woman here. But what I love is the makeup application. In 2021, she had on all that makeup telling y'all them lies about how y'all going to set these standards and men will follow. And then current day, men have been known for decades. Y'all's true and authentic confidence is naked, fresh out the shower with no makeup on. Moral to the story is, ladies, we are not partners, and we are most certainly not you all subservients. It is the other way around. Quit trying to dictate to us what you will and will not accept on a date, because if you set it too high, we just won't date you. We set the terms for dating, because we're the ones spending. And until you all meet the standard of putting out, you all can't set the standard of spending. And we will let all of y'all freeze dry your shit and work until you're dead. Have it your way, or have it a man's way, and have a man. Boris.
The wall doesn't forgive, brothers, and karma is a ruthless teacher. This woman never wanted to accept a coffee date or anything casual to get to know a man. In her mind, she thought, why would she? She's beautiful and would always have men at her feet, right? But reality and the wall changed things after 34. You're no longer as beautiful, and you're older. Your biological clock starts telling you it's urgent to get married because your window for having children is closing. It's tough when you always aimed for that high-value man, only to later find yourself unable to even start a family if the ideal man you were chasing never appears. The problem is, every year, a woman turns 21, becoming eligible for marriage, with the chance to seek a man even 10 years older than her. What does this tell you? While you stop being the most attractive model on the market, someone else takes your place, competing for the same men you want. That's why you need to make the most of that blank check of beauty God gives you to secure a man before 30. Because if you hit the wall, let me tell you, the wall doesn't forgive.
Y'all check out this coffee date shit.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. These men that want to take you out to coffee for a first date, they don't like you.
Actually, he's more into getting to know who you are than someone that takes you on an expensive date, because he's giving you his undivided attention and he's not trying to manipulate you with money.
They just want to see if you'll be there so they can come back and pick you up and play with you whenever they want.
Oh, really?
All the men in the comments are like, that's not true.
Wouldn't they know? Because they are men.
This is what men who want to go on coffee dates do.
What exactly do they do?
They want to be your pen pal. They want to reach out to you when they're feeling like they need some type of emotional connection and they need to remind themselves that they're still alive, but they don't actually want to take you seriously. They don't want to take you anywhere.
First dates are like job interviews. You talk to the person to get to know them to see if you even want to move them to the second step of the hiring process. Why take them to an expensive restaurant and they might not be qualified for the job?
Go to the coffee shop, you get to know if they're qualified or not qualified enough for the job. At expensive restaurants, you're not paying attention to each other. You're paying attention to the food and all the ambience that's going on in the restaurant. At a coffee shop, you actually are paying attention to this person and getting to know this person to see if you want to hire them for the job.
I don't see it as work, but I understand your point. First dates are for getting to know each other without pressure or unrealistic expectations. It's a chance to find out if you share common interests and genuinely enjoy each other's company. That's why I always say a coffee date is ideal. The term coffee doesn't necessarily mean drinking coffee, but rather inviting the woman to a cozy cafe with a pleasant atmosphere, where the focus is on the connection between the two of you. Avoid fast food chains, as the location should show a minimum level of effort without going overboard. The idea is to get to know each other in a simple and authentic way, nothing more.
I would never say yes to a coffee date. And unless that's your thing, you should neither. I saw a creator on here and I didn't save the video, but she said, imagine your man taking like the hottest girl in your mind on a date, like Megan Fox. Do you think he'd ask Megan Fox to coffee on a first date? I knew that any man that I dated was going to treat me like royalty. I remember my friends used to ask like, how do you go on all these extravagant first dates? Because that's only what I would accept. I want to be someone's dream girl. You're going on a first date with your dream girl. If I'm not your dream girl and you can't take me to a top dining restaurant, then I don't want to go. And before you say, oh, that's too much. My boyfriend now took me to a Michelin star restaurant on our first date. And this has nothing to do with money. You could literally pop a bottle of wine on the beach and have it cost $15. The fact there's thought and it's romantic, like that's enough for me. If you ask me for coffee, automatic friend or business vibes. Ugh, we're not going for that.
Oh, hell no!
If Megan Fox is your reference for the ideal woman, we're already starting off on the wrong foot. This reflects the mindset of many women who hit the wall, thinking they're more than they actually are. It's easy to spot women dating high-value men who take them to the best places, shower them with luxuries, and make them feel special until they get what they want. Then, they disappear. Why? Because those men know they can impress with an expensive dinner or a trip, but they're not looking for anything serious with them. Take a look at the women who truly stand by those successful men. They didn't need extravagant dates to win them over. Authenticity always triumphs over ostentation, but it seems the modern woman doesn't understand that. As long as they continue to value the superficial, they'll remain just a passing chapter in those men's lives.
Why second dates matter more than first dates. Let's be honest, sometimes first dates are freaking awkward, especially if you've never met in person. You're trying to get to know her life story while also managing the logistics of being in public and trying to find opportunities to touch her all at the same time. It's a lot. So I'm actually a way bigger fan of second dates because I feel like your nerves are a little more soothed, you know each other a little better, maybe you have some inside jokes, and you can actually relax and enjoy the experience. So if you didn't make the impression that you wanted to on the first date, which is way more common than you think, then you definitely want the second date to be a home run. It's true that you don't get a second shot at a first impression, but sometimes you don't make a real impression until you get a second shot. So make it count.
I completely agree. The first date is just the beginning. It's a simple moment to get to know each other, see if there's chemistry, and share interests. If that first date goes well, on the second date, the man will show more intentions, investing more time and effort. Why? Because he sees in that woman someone worth it, someone who genuinely sparks his interest. This is how a masculine man operates. Women who don't set up so many filters for the first date often end up with the best men. These men understand that a good initial connection deserves to be strengthened, and the second date is where they elevate the experience. On the other hand, the strong and independent women who reject coffee dates, expecting a wealthy man to take them to a 5-star restaurant, often end up waiting. And when the wall comes, there are no more princesses or fancy restaurants, just the harsh reality that the wall doesn't forgive. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, here are the questions for you. Why do you think more women are freezing their eggs every day? What do you consider ideal for a first date? We've come to the end of the video, but we're leaving you with 2 fun stories about modern women that we invite you to watch. Don't forget to turn on notifications since we post videos daily. See you in the next video of The Wall.